I'm saying like, yeah.
Let's
Me too, bro. I always come.
What up, everybody? Welcome to our second episode of Mask Off Therapy, brought to you by Next Level Clothing, Dope Sick Art. We have a special guest with us today, Jackie Landrum, who is a licensed acupuncturist, here to tell us about the benefits of acupuncture. So let Matt introduce himself.
My name is Matt Strong.
Tasha Walls.
And
My name is Jackie Landrum. I'm the owner of Brilliant Health Medicine in Klamath Falls, and I'm a licensed acupuncturist.
nice.
So, Jackie, would you maybe tell them a little bit about how acupuncture ties in with mental health?
Sure. So, mental health and Chinese medicine, the idea is that in our medicine we treat the whole spirit. We treat the physical body, the mental, emotional, and body as well, and it's all related. And so we view mental health as being related to the heart and the heart spirit. So it's not just giving a medication or just talk therapy. It's taking care of the whole body, because oftentimes there's actually there's many different causes. So people are complex, and we view the body as all related. So with acupuncture and herbs, we help balance the body, and by balancing the body, it brings it into its most healthy state, and that very often helps the spirit, the mind, the emotions. So.
Are the herbs just like vitamins, or like are they things that you rub on your body? Or
Yeah, a lot of us have never had acupuncture done. We all kind of get the gist of it, but break down the procedure for us.
Okay, so like how when somebody comes in.
Yeah, like say I come in, I'm a new client, like what do we?
So before you come in, I'll send you like an 8 to 10 page intake, and I'm going to ask about why you want to come in, what your expectations are if you've had it before. I'm going to ask about your sleep, which is huge in our medicine. If you're not sleeping, nothing works right. So we look at your
I can ask for that.
Yeah, we look at your sleep, we look at your appetite, your temperature, if you feel like subjective, if you run cold or hot, body pain, if you've got tingling or numbness, if you have acid reflux, if you have headaches, if you have, we talk a lot about bathroom stuff, because that tells us, bathroom and period tells us a lot about what the body's doing.
Yeah.
Especially for women.
A lot of people don't like talking about it.
Yeah.
So, quick question: is this questionnaire to help you guide your treatment plan, or like what you're gonna do, or do you like turn people away and say, "Come back when you're fucking getting 8 hours of sleep"?
No, I will help them get 8 hours of sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, or try to.
So this is kind of like a treatment plan questionnaire, like what part of the body you're going to.
It's like going to the doctor, but a really in-depth
Yeah.
visit, and somebody is looking at every detail, but through the lens of Chinese medicine. Okay. So if you're waking up from 1 to 3, that is the liver hour. So we're looking at what's going on with your liver spiritually. Okay. So you're probably really stressed. Not like anything's physiologically wrong with your liver. If you're waking up from 3 to 5, that's the lung hour. You might have a lung weakness, something's going on with your lungs. That tells us something.
Okay.
So, yeah, we go through the whole intake. At the end, I ask about, have you ever had a heart shock, which is considered trauma in Chinese medicine? Have you ever been in an abusive relationship? Your happiness scales in like your personal life, your friends, your job, do a scale of 1 to 10.
What's heart shock again?
Heart shock is trauma. Someone who's
And that's something that
traumatized.
you.
I was thinking like zap.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, no, it's just a term we use
Just
for extreme
broken heart?
trauma. Like if you ever like lost a loved one.
Gotcha.
Probably heartstrings.
It's like where your spirit might have left your body for a little bit because it was so traumatic. You couldn't stay in your body. A lot of us have had life is traumatizing, but those really big, shocks.
Yeah.
And it can be anything too. It can be, a betrayal. I mean, it doesn't have to be like an accident or something.
So after doing the questionnaire, do you kind of pick what you think is most important to start treating first? Or how do you choose, because obviously you can't treat everything at one time.
Sure. So we do traditional Chinese diagnosis. I look at the tongue and I feel your pulses.
Mhm.
And on the radial pulse by the thumb side on each side, there's 3 positions, and each one is a different organ system. So I can feel like emotional stuff and physical stuff in your pulse. And so often we start at the level of digestion because it's like the most, it's one of the more important things, like being out in the world. It's the earth elements, taking in food, nourishing yourself. I'm often strengthening someone's digestion before we go deeper. But a lot of times, well, I can't say that's always the first. A lot of times I'm treating the spirit first.
Okay.
In Chinese medicine, if we call the heart the emperor, if the emperor is not well, like nothing in the body can be well. So we're treating this, I'm treating the spirit a lot the first time. There's spiritual, I shouldn't say spiritual, there's treatments that help that, that are very specific. And it's called treating the Shin. There's a book on it that I brought. It's all on treating the spirit.
Okay.
And this is just one small part of Chinese medicine, but this is all about treating the Shin. And we believe the medicine considers your mind to be in your heart. So, in Western medicine, you get a drug or whatever, and it helps with your neurotransmitters.
So you're going into a lot of the mental problems, it sounds like, before that, lead into the physical type thing.
It kind of just depends. Like, everybody's different.
Okay.
I check in with the body and I see what it needs, and we just start where the body needs to start.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you talk about Eastern medicine, is it solely like Chinese, or is it like other cultures also?
So there's a lot of Eastern Asian medicine that's woven together. In school, there's some Japanese medicine. There's a kind of needling that is very superficial. There's Japanese needling where you don't even go in the skin. You use a little metal rod called a teishin, and you just kind of put it on the point and spin it, twist it a little bit. There's shiatsu massage that we learned in school, which is Japanese, and we massage on the acupuncture channel. So there's like a lot of crossover. There's probably more that I don't know. That's just what I know so far. So, but there's just a lot to study, and school was just the jumping off point. On the first day, our teacher said, "Don't ever think you'll be a master,
Yeah.
because you won't." He said Chinese medicine is way too vast and way too deep to even understand in one lifetime. You need multiple lifetimes, he said, to become a master.
I
So
think all things are like that. You're never going to be a master at it, and if you think that you are, then it's probably time to find something different to do.
yeah.
But that's good that you're always learning, and you're willing to teach too, not just kind of hoard your information for profits or whatever.
Oh yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
I've been studying it since 2013,
Nice.
and I've been a patient of it since 2009.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's how you got started out, was being a patient and led into like, wow, this is pretty
Yeah.
great. Tell us about that.
I was on pharmaceuticals since I was like in junior high and even younger for asthma, and they just kept putting me on more and more and more. And one of them felt kind of like, I have never done speed, but it felt like speed. It was like, made my heart skip, and it totally messes with your HPA axis, so your body thinks you're running from the tiger all the time, your cortisol is going out of control. And I would take this inhaler every day, and I felt like I would take drugs. Like I felt crazy. Like
Or making you anxious, like
So-
anxiety.
yeah, I would like have this like creative like spike. I would like feel, it was like taking like this a crazy drug, and then I would just kind of like crash. But I looked 10 years older, 10 years ago. Like I had like this darker cast to like my spirit, and I was tired. I couldn't exercise. I started having weird lab results.
Yeah.
My asthma was getting better, getting worse. My allergies
So
were
were you
getting worse.
taking like more than one medication, or this was
Oh,
just
yeah.
for your allergy
For
medication?
asthma and allergies, and like it's like no one ever did anything other than just say, "Oh, we've got this new drug."
Yeah,
Like,
much more drugs on
That's what they do.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do.
My son has asthma really bad, and he's on all kinds of breathing. He takes breathing treatments every night, and on an inhaler, and takes allergy pills and all that.
like the inhaler can be life saving. It's Western medicine is definitely like God created Western medicine too, but like we are missing like a whole area that we could help. Like I used to be like that too. Not every night, but I would not go anywhere without.
I don't think he takes it like every night, but
Yeah.
he takes it a lot because he's allergic to a lot of things, and he's not to the point where he needs like an EpiPen or anything. But he definitely, I can definitely see it. Like whenever I go visit him, it's like he's always having problems because he wants to run around and do all this stuff with us, and then he gets set back because he has an asthma attack or something.
When did he?
Since he was really little. He's 8 years old now, and he's still. It's like you said, it's not like getting better, but it's not really getting like too bad. But it's like he's just stuck in this funk that I'm just like, man, I wish I could just like
The
help this guy
those
out.
drugs are designed to keep you on.
Yeah.
Like that's just plain and simple truth.
Yeah,
Like people can't grow out of allergies.
an asthma, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I just want to be like,
Shit, I wish I could.
Yeah.
Like allergies.
I'm just not so good at it.
And shit, grass.
Yeah, but if there's a different way, like that's kind of what
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
into. If there's a different way, and
Different message.
She has
and
a
she's
lot
found
of
a different way, and that's
Yes, absolutely.
fuck, dude, those drugs are bad for you. They're bad for you.
Yeah,
They're,
all
they're
their stuff.
aging you. They're keeping you dependent on them. They're a lot of them expensive.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you had your asthma and your allergies, and then what? You're just kind of fed up with taking the shit, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna try something different.
Yeah.
Somebody recommended it to you.
Yeah, at the time I was dating somebody, he was a horse trainer, and his client was an acupuncturist, and he was like, hey, you should go see her, she says she can help you. And it was actually at first for acne. I had no idea, and acne was a side effect of my liver trying to detox all these drugs
Oh,
that I was on.
Yeah.
And I went to her, and she's like, whoa, you've got all this other stuff going on, I can help you. I had no idea that acupuncture or Chinese medicine could do that.
nice.
And within a year, maybe even 6 months, I was off all my medications.
Wow. Shit.
That's
Good
legit.
boy in there.
It wasn't Washington.
I would love it. Yeah.
There's acupuncturists and
There's-
You can make that formula for him.
There's so many like things that can be going on. You can have
I have
just
asthma too.
Yeah. I have really bad allergies.
Me too.
Me too.
I don't take anything for it yet.
there's herbs there's one called astragalus Huang Chi. So strengthening for
What's
your
it called?
lungs. Huang Chi, astragalus.
Astragalus.
Maybe we need you to write that shit down.
Yeah. That's 4 sounds.
Don't worry, just text me. So the herbal side is a huge side of the
Yeah.
medicine.
Yeah.
I've got like a full medicinary down the street in my clinic. I make people custom formulas all the time. I carry one around for my lungs if it's smoky, things are getting, weird outside. Take it,
Yeah.
then I don't have to.
How do you feel that it has helped you since you started? Like, where was you at then? Where you was at then to where you're at now? Like, how much has it helped you? Was it like night and
It
day?
like gave me my life back, yeah. Like I felt like my soul was hijacked. Like I felt like these drugs like made my mental and emotional state altered.
Yeah.
I felt like friends would be like, oh, she can't do fun stuff. I had some weird friends back when I was younger, and they would say mean things like, oh, she can't go hiking, she can't do fun stuff. And I grew up being an athlete. So like, it was weird that my body by age 30 had like weakened to this point on these drugs. And I just felt like sad. I don't know. I wasn't as happy. I wasn't as vibrant. I had huge anxiety, like way more anxiety. I felt like ugly, like I didn't look like myself. Like the drugs just like wore my body down. Like I didn't have the light in my eyes. I don't know. It was sad. Like I just felt like something was wrong with me. And when I would try to tell the doctor, like, I'm not feeling better on these herbs, they would just give me a blank stare because they didn't know any different. Like, you know, these brilliant minds go to med school, they want to help people, and then they're sucked into the system of just having to do what pharma wants them to do.
Exactly.
Which is why functional medicine and naturopathic medicine is like now where I go for my help because they don't have that pressure of the pharmaceuticals industry.
And that's really important. I think like a lot of people need to know, you know, there's other options out there, especially, and it goes beyond kind of what we were talking about earlier. It goes beyond the just getting the acupuncture done. It kind of leads into you building a relationship with your clients and a therapy session.
Yeah.
And
Unofficially, yeah.
yeah, unofficially, but it's good for everybody.
Yeah.
You know.
I've tried it and I like it. I had back problems and sometimes like dealt with depression and anxiety, and doing the acupuncture was like super helpful, and I felt better leaving the building.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could tell just then that something happened to me, but like it made it feel
Right.
like it was so nice.
That's what I was going to ask you is like, is there like a frequency that you would recommend somebody doing it, like once a month, once every 2 weeks, or is it like one time thing, or what would you recommend?
Yeah, like some cycle for somebody or whatever.
So that so depends on the person. One-time thing is usually very exploratory, like you're gonna have an experience, but I think that this medicine's kind of like working out or diet. You know, it's not just like a one-time thing and you're cured. Now, if you have a really sore, tight muscle, sometimes I can fix it in one visit, but that's like different than this. I personally like to get it once a week or once every 2 weeks for maintenance. I would say for something that's acute and really intense, like
Would back pain be like that, or?
yeah, like back pain, you might need to come like 7 to 10 visits twice a week for a little while.
Okay.
If it's like mental health, emotional health, I would say once a week or once every 2 weeks. If it's a chronic condition like asthma or autoimmune or headaches, migraines, there's so many things that we treat. Those are just a few, like maybe once every 2 weeks for a while or once a week for a long time, you know, for like months. And then once you get some good like progress or relief, then we can make a plan, talk about going down to like once a month or
What's
once every 2 days.
What's the length of a typical session?
It's about 75 minutes.
75 minutes, and then I gotta keep it real, and I gotta look out for all my people in the group.
Yeah.
How much does the shit cost?
Well, right now I do cash and I accept insurance.
Okay.
So cash is $150 for a new patient. Plan on about 2 hours with me. And return visits about 90.
Okay.
And
So let me stop
especially
you
your
real
back
quick.
is so.
I know when people hear those numbers, they're kind of like, ouch, you know what I mean? And that's steep, but I'm a drug addict, I'm an alcoholic, and I would easily spend that in a fucking week on beer and cigarettes, or
I don't know the number you're talking about.
$90.
I'm pretty sure people could just spend that in a day easy.
Yeah, so when I
bar.
got sober, I started looking at things like that because I was going to counseling once a week. It's $150 a pop. It's $600 a month. That's a truck payment,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I was like, wow, I can't believe you spend that much on that shit. And I'm like, what do you mean that much? Like, that's a couple days worth of drinking right there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting healthy for $150 a week. Like, I'm coming out on top right now. You're crazy. So,
Yeah, what people don't understand too is that you basically went to med school and you have huge loans. I mean, my loan is the size of a really good starter home in Klamath. Like, no, better than a starter home in Klamath, starter home in Portland maybe. I mean, I studied for 5 years plus prereqs plus undergrad. Like,
In Portland, right?
yeah, and the thing is too, is that in Oregon, insurance covers acupuncture in
Yeah.
many plans. So I have tried really hard to get with every company, and I've got OHP right now. If you have OHP, Cascade Health Alliance in Klamath, you can get acupuncture covered with a pre-authorization from your
are
doctor.
you guys listening to that
Yeah,
shit?
no doubt.
Yeah,
Take advantage
It's
of that.
important right there.
I carry Pacific Source, Moda, waiting on Blue Cross Blue Shield, waiting on Cigna. I take First Choice. So I try really hard. And also, if somebody has, financial strain, I just ask them to come to me and we'll
Yeah.
figure it out. Because at the end of the day, well, I am careful. But like, there's other acupuncturists who will do like, you can fill out like a form for like, hey, this is my income, and and then they'll work something out with you.
Nice.
But yeah, the insurance part is pretty good. So
No, I don't think that's expensive at all. No.
I feel like people are maybe afraid of it just because it has to do with needles.
oh, for
But
sure.
like it doesn't hurt. I can vouch for that. I've done it a couple times.
And he hates needles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like shots. But like,
Motherfucker
you
has to
can't
put
feel
heavy
it.
cream on get tattooed.
Yeah, I'll do it every day. No,
Yeah, I was gonna need to
No.
buy some of that shit.
Yeah.
For my kneecap.
Yeah,
I'm just
you just have to try it.
It's like-
You'll never want a tattoo without it.
Well, like 10 of our needles fit in a hypodermic needle. So that tells you the size. And
100%.
ours are
Oh,
not hollow. They're filiform. There's no hollow. It's like a
something
kid
I've
whisker.
always wanted to ask you guys, and I've always kind of felt silly about it. Is there something in those needles?
Hell no.
Okay. I didn't know that.
No, I just want to.
Just love.
I just want to.
I don't know if there's
I
like
just
some
say
weird
it that way.
oils or something in there that
No,
help you.
Isn't there holes at the end of it though? So like
no,
nothing.
no. No, it's
That's
like
weird.
a cat whisker. It goes in. It's
Yeah,
really
it is
thin.
like that.
And what you're feeling, and the reason people feel good is because it releases endorphin. It causes your body to release endorphins and neurotransmitters.
That shit.
Yeah, I just responded like that because I was like, I don't want you to be scared because like there's so many different like thoughts, Like,
I mean, if there is, I just wanted to know what it was.
yeah,
Poke me.
no question is a bad question, so ask anything because it's new to our culture. In
Yeah.
some ways, it's actually really mainstream in like bigger cities, but Klamath, I'm finding I'm like educating a lot.
Right.
Yeah, Kelly, my wife was getting it done for a while at the beginning of the year and stuff, and she really, really enjoyed it. She said it was really therapeutic.
Yeah.
And got a lot from it. I watched her
I can
attitude change like over the course of a couple sessions.
Yeah.
That's great.
And she needs to get back in there, but I've never had the time to do it, but I really want to try it sometime.
So what am I, like a reverse acupuncturist?
What are you like, anger or something?
Tattoo.
No, I'm sorry, when I tattoo people, stab them on needles.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it
I'm
probably,
like, here you go.
the body still probably releases chemicals when the
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Was.
I'm not scared.
Blood.
Pass out.
Yeah.
Getting
I'm just
tattoos
playing.
like a
How big are
therapy
the needles for tattoo? Like
You
I
can
have
get
a
huge ones or small ones.
Oh, really?
Just
There's
depends.
different sizes?
Depends what you're doing, yeah.
Depends how much he likes you or not.
Yeah.
Maybe I could do acupuncture on you before you give me a tattoo, so
Yeah.
it's nice.
All right.
Do you have to see like a client more than once to like build them a, whatever, the vitamins and stuff? Like,
Yeah, with the herbal
yeah,
side of
exactly.
it. Yeah, just like anything, like if I can spend more time with somebody, I start to understand how their body works, because everybody's body, we call it their constitution, is different. And so getting to know the strengths and weaknesses in the body, it's like gardening, like you're looking at some plot of land and you're like, all right, like where is it dry? We need to like get the water over here. We need, more nutrients over here. We're balancing your body so that it can do its brilliance.
So after a couple, you build an herbal plan for your
I
clients?
can if they want an herbal formula.
And you want to like tell them what it is, like it's like powders and then
Yeah,
capsules.
different
like all.
powders and do you do like teas and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Do you help at all with diet plans?
So in our medicine, there's a rich history of eating certain foods that help with certain, we call it patterns, like
Okay.
in your body. Like, so I help with nutrition and diet as it pertains to Chinese medicine,
Okay.
but I'm not like a dietitian, and
Right.
yeah, and I always will.
But you are in a position to like recommend certain things with, especially like with herbs and teas and stuff like that. I think that
Yes.
people are needy, so they like want everything laid out for them, especially people that are desperate, right? So we come to a doctor, acupuncturist, therapist, or whatever. We're like, help me, but here's my shit, right? And the more you can deal with one person, I think the easier it is. So that's why I asked you that.
Yeah.
Like if you're, recommending certain foods for this type of feel-good,
So,
therapy.
yeah, so I have these handouts actually. So within the medicine, there's like these patterns we identified, and according to the pattern that the body is displaying, I have a handout with helpful foods to balance them.
Good, yeah.
So the names of the patterns are kind of weird, so I don't want to like confuse people. Like spleen yang deficiency, we work with yin and yang. All sorts of like, heart fire, dampness, kidney yang deficiency, which is you're going to be not have enough energy. Kidney yin deficiency, you might have anxiety. And there's
Diet is super, super important on your mental health, and like how, and it's like it's not like long-term effects, but you could be eating whatever for a week and then not really feel the effects of it until like 2 weeks later.
yeah.
Type shit.
True.
Well, I think you can feel the effects right away though.
Oh yeah, definitely, like mostly good effects. Well, with me, like I have sugar problems. I have a really bad sweet tooth. I always have. So I'm pretty good with my diet most of the year, but I fall off at certain times of the year and just loosen up. And when I loosen up, I go straight to sugar.
Mhm.
And then it's usually good right then and there, but about 2 weeks later, I start getting really depressed, lack of energy, all that
Oh,
shit.
I see. Yeah, for sure. It
So it's
does
like
like-
over the course of a little bit of time.
there's like those instant feelings from food and then it builds too. Yeah. So I think that, definitely I help people with that. There's formulas that can help with, I personally feel it can help with some cravings. I also work with a functional nutritionist who has worked wonders in my life.
That's what was going to be my next question.
Yeah,
You work with people like that you can kind of recommend. Or,
It takes a village, just how it takes a village to raise.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I work with a naturopathic doctor at
it's
Wilson
such a strong team.
Yeah.
For real, yeah.
It's,
So the naturopath can do all the labs, like urine, stool labs, blood labs, see what's going on in your body. And then my colleague who's a functional nutritionist, she goes way in depth to what you might be missing. She does it with a questionnaire and then she presses on points on your body that tells her certain organ systems.
That's awesome.
She has helped me a lot with my anxiety and sleep. it's been amazing.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you, tell us, I was looking at this earlobe, which is ridiculous.
I know, there's so many
How,
points.
tell us what doing acupuncture on different parts of the body does.
That's what we studied for 800 years.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That's why you study for 17 lifetimes.
Yeah.
I mean, trying to keep track of all those little spots right there with those little tiny needles is just crazy.
So real talk, we don't have every single one of those points memorized, but we did take a class where we had to at some point.
Yeah,
But we use, about like 10 of them more commonly. But I have an ear diagram in my each clinic room, so we have to refer to these things when
yeah.
So,
Now you're doing it?
so what happens when people get their ears pierced like a million times?
So this is where everybody gets their ear pierced.
Yeah.
That's the eye. That's your vision. That's the eye.
That's weird.
And then, my friend, she was like, hey, I got my ear pierced. And I looked at it, and she had pierced the adrenal point. Well, everyone's adrenals are so stressed out right now with COVID. It's so cool when, her body probably intuitively wanted it there because it knew it would help.
So what happens when you get let's say like a permanent piercing in that spot?
Mhm.
Like, does that mess up like the points, I guess?
I actually don't know the answer to that question. I feel like it treats it.
But you can go back to that spot, right? Like with your acupuncture and still treat that area.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could.
It's not like damage.
No, it's not. I don't think it's damaged. But it's definitely that's a really good question.
It's
I don't
definitely polluted.
really know.
So I would think like if you're gonna get acupuncture in a spot where there's supposed to be like a point,
Yeah.
and then you stick in like a rod through there, is it gone or is it just?
Maybe you're just mega treating it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like to think of it that way.
That's
Yeah.
that's a good way to look at it.
So I know people do get piercings for certain things, like for headaches or
Yeah.
whatever, I think. And I don't know if some people told me that it's actually helped them not have those problems anymore.
Oh, really?
That's the reason why I asked.
That's so cool. Do you know where on the ear they can
I
do?
thought it was more.
To be honest, I don't remember exactly the spots. I was just asking them while I was working on, why do you have so many piercings in your hair?
Yeah.
And they're like, this one's for a headache, this one's for this and that.
Do you do is there any part of the body that's off limits?
Yeah, we don't ever put a needle in the belly button.
Why?
Too ticklish?
That's a special point. That's a special point called REN 8, and it's just contraindicated. You just don't put a needle, but you
Use
do
small words
Moxa.
with people like me, please. What does that mean?
What's that?
What does that mean? Contra.
Oh, it means that it's not indicated.
Oh.
Just contra against indicated, just don't do it. It's just not part of the classical medicine, but you can do moxa, and I'll often do moxa, which is the burning of mugwort near the skin, and it's very warming and it sends heat deep into the body. So I'll do that there.
Okay.
I like to do it with salt and a little pat, what's it called, a little gauze pad. Put it in the belly button, and you put some salt, and then you put the moxa, it looks like fluffy. It looks like maybe you're gonna smoke it. It's just fluffy stuff. And then you put it there, and then incense, light it, and it gets really warm. And so it does the functions of that point, but just without a needle. So,
Nice.
yeah.
It's wild. Matt, you got any questions?
Not right now. Should we do a demonstration?
Let's do a
So,
demonstration.
one, is there something else you want to add, Jackie, before we try that?
You don't ever put one in the eyeball, do you?
Oh, no, we don't do the eyeball. There are some.
That'd be great.
Eyeball?
No, but there is one that goes that can go right there, but I don't do it.
Yeah, I've seen that really close to the eyeball, and
Yeah.
I wondered do you fucking do one in the eyeball?
Dude, that'd be great.
So when we do
Dude,
it
can you
though,
imagine getting that thing that close to your eye though?
No.
How does people not freak out when they do it?
it's a little scary. We had to learn that one in school and do it on each other, but if I need to treat the eye, that's bladder 1, the bladder channel, this is bladder 2. I'll usually start at bladder 2 and thread down a little bit, and it treats both in one.
That's wild.
But
Have you
it,
ever had anybody freak out when you start doing that shit?
I mean, yeah, but nothing like crazy. Just like they don't want to do it, or
Just kind of.
yeah. There's some points in private areas that I don't like to do unless somebody really needs it.
What would they need it for if they had to go on
Hemorrhoids is
Oh,
one.
yeah.
But hemorrhoids you can do other points. There's one here and on top of the head. So there's like multiple ways to the same. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's cool that there is multiple ways.
Yeah.
Some treatment or problem area that you're dealing with.
There's body mapping
For sure.
too, where like, you look at like the neck and what you can treat the neck on the sacrum. You can treat the occiput like on, I think it's the occiput, sorry if I'm wrong. Like on the outside of the ankle, or no, the left shoulder and the lateral right ankle. There's this whole system, all these systems that have been like observed over the thousands of years.
I wonder if that has something to do, like when I'm working on people, let's say if I'm working on somebody's arm over here,
Yeah.
and they're like, I feel it in my ribs down here.
Yes.
And I'd be like, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, I was always wondering, like, why do you feel it in another part of your body?
especially on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this system called Masterdom, and it's all about like it's spelled
Why do you do that?
T-U-N.
Trying to be professional.
It's spelled T-U-N-G.
Yeah, sure it
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's all about doing the body mapping. So like if you have neck pain, there's a point. I think that's Masterdom, like right here in your hand.
I thought they felt weird in your hand.
I'm trying to think. A lot of his points are on the hand and they hurt.
Or the inside of the
Yeah.
Like there's one
Yeah.
right here for your uterus.
Have you done it
You've got a
more than once?
baby.
Yeah.
That helps
I think I've
like
done it 3 times.
Nice.
it helps keep the uterus stronger if you have endometriosis. There's one right there called Return to the Nest. I do a lot for women. It's really crazy. It's like, how did they discover this?
Yeah, let's fucking do that and see what happens.
Let's do it.
Put one by his eyeball.
So
With this
He ain't
fucking
scared.
person.
okay.
He ain't scared. He didn't
No, let's
flinch.
do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Alright.
So we'll do it. In
Alright.
Okay. The emotion associated with fear and fright and anxiety. Next, we're going to put in Shenmin, which is about spirit calming. Next, we are going to do the liver, which is anger and frustration. You will pokey, everybody's stressed. And then last, we're going to do your heart, which is joy and also trauma and everything.
I'm next.
And a lot of those emotions are correlated
Good
with
roasters.
addiction. So that's like why somebody would do something, right? Because they're afraid, angry, sad.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and usually we do both ears,
How long do you leave it in?
but I'll do your ear too. It builds on itself.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Weird.
So he probably won't get the full effect because I'm not doing both ears. And
Go ahead and give us a read.
Oh, you didn't want.
No, that's fine.
I
I'll
only.
do it next time.
I feel so with that.
So you probably won't feel it yet.
You didn't get double time.
I'm happy to do one in yours too. He'll still get some of that. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll wait. I'll do it next
Do you want just like one? Still makes a difference.
No.
What kind of do you have anxiety?
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out which one to not do. Do you feel like you have feelings of frustration or anger?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay. And there's not really one I can skip, but it's okay. This will still be great. How about fear or fright?
I guess, yeah, a little bit.
See, they're way smaller than.
Can you even feel them when they go? No?
Can you even feel it?
I just felt like a tiny little,
Kitten whisker?
yeah, it's not bad.
These are like the Tesla needles. These are the Sarins. They're Japanese. I like these a lot.
It's a good shit.
Yeah. Okay. Now you just chill for 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, Jeff, you ready? We'll just do Shinman on your left side.
Shinman on the left
The
side.
left side is more.
Shinman.
Shinman.
How are you gonna get
Just
the
don't do the
dong?
long dong one on me.
I don't
Okay, ready?
have your neck hurting.
What are you treating?
Your spirit.
My spirit. Fuck yeah. All right.
That's it.
Thank you. All right.
Beautiful.
Hold on.